Violence in a small community outside of the metro. Local leaders hope to address people's concerns. Our Marla Lundak spoke with those leaders and was there as community members asked questions.
Fort Calhoun, 25 minutes north of the metro, is a town of about 1,100 people. And Wednesday night, dozens of them met for a town hall meeting with community leaders.
We've had a couple incidents, horrendous incidents, that have shaken people's faith. So that's why we're here tonight, to reassure you that this is a safe community. We're safe to live here.
It comes after several violent attacks in the community. In August, Fort Calhoun business owner Linda Childers was shot with a crossbow and stabbed in her home. And earlier this month, Stephen Gutzel, a Catholic priest, was stabbed in an early morning break-in at the church rectory. Mayor Mitch Robinson says the night is about community and reassurance.
We're a tight-knit community, and we're hurting. Some of the people are hurting. They don't know why it's happening. And it's just a way to get everybody together so they can see that there are other people also hurting and are concerned, and that then we lean on each other.
Community members had questions.
When is it safe to go ahead if you feel your life is threatened to shoot?
Everything from self-defense to details about the recent murders and learning more about how the sheriff's office will continue to protect Fort Calhoun. Local officials remind the community that Fort Calhoun is not under attack and that crime can happen anywhere.
Don't let this eat you up. Don't let the fear consume you. That is not healthy for you. It's not healthy for your family. It's not healthy for your kids to see. Live your life, but just take those normal precautions you should always take.
On your side in Fort Calhoun, Marla Lundak, 6 News.
The Washington County Sheriff reminded those in Fort Calhoun to do simple things like lock your homes and your cars. They suggest security cameras on your home or keeping an outside light on. Sheriff Robinson also encourages having a weapon that you are comfortable with and capable of using if ever necessary.